Welcome back to our vlog. Bruce and I here, coming to you from North Idaho, where we're going to talk about all sorts of things and issues that affect your life. Most importantly, rest stops. You know, where are the best rest stops in the United States?
Where are the best rest stops?
Random facts about rest stops. You know, why do rest stops exist? You know, do rest stops exist?
Is that a real question?
Why do rest stops exist? Is that a real question?
I think it's a real question. And if they do exist in other countries, where are they?
Well, here's an interesting fact from last year. I'm going to Lolo Hot Springs in Montana. Rest stops exist for basically one reason in my head. You stop to do your business, right? Do your business.
Yeah, but I've seen some pretty gross rest stops where I don't necessarily
I don't disagree.
do any business besides maybe number one.
And especially in Montana. Not great. Montana, Idaho, not great. We live in Idaho. Not good here, trust me. Stop to use the rest stop, it's closed. There's nowhere in between the border of Idaho to the next town to use the rest area. And this is closed. Why do you close a rest stop in the middle of winter?
Because the people that run the rest stops have a very cruel sense of humor. Especially when they're after, 40 or 50 miles after the closest Taco Bell.
I used the rest stops. Just wasn't in a building.
So rest stops are a hot topic, and I think it's a very underrepresented area of the internet right now. So Bruce and I are going to fill in that underrepresented area. We're also going to talk about one of our favorite things, two of our favorite things, golf, and of course, cigars. So
You see, I have a little one.
Brian has a big one. I don't know if he's overcompensating.
That's a pretty normal statement from Bruce. It is clear that mine's bigger.
I'm trying to be PG and Brian's pushing it even farther.
we're talking about cigars here. Bruce, what are you smoking today?
I am smoking a Robusto Sublime.
One of my go-to favorite cigars, full-bodied cigar. So if you're not a cigar smoker, don't buy this one because it'll kick your tail. It's pretty heady. It'll take you downtown.
I like going downtown.
Yeah, because you're buying more cigars.
Yes.
What are you smoking today?
I've got myself one of my favorites, and it was actually one of the first cigars that I've ever smoked. It's the one that got me into cigar smoking in the first place, and that's the infamous since 1962 Camacho Triple Maduro.
Oof.
If you are a Maduro smoking fan, this Camacho, it says it right here on the label better than I could even say it. It's big, it's bold, and it's for big, bold smokers.
That's a top 10.
Easily a top 10.
That's a top 10 all day long.
So is the Sublime, though. I've had a lot of those Sublimes, and those Sublimes are fantastic cigars.
Yeah, for a little cigar, I dare you to find something better than this guy. Ain't gonna happen. Just won't.
So golf and cigars go really well together. I mean, you have to smoke a cigar while you're golfing. It's just kind of a rule, an unwritten rule. And
It kind of is, even if you don't smoke cigars.
That's why they sell cigars at most golf courses, because it's a thing. And maybe drinking.
But would you
But I don't
smoke?
drink.
Would you smoke something like this when you're on the golf course?
No, not typically, and the reason why is because of the wind. I want to sit down and enjoy a cigar like that. You're out on the golf course. What do you got? You got wind, and the wind will eat that cigar up in half an hour. I got into cigar smoking with, I have to tell this story just because it's ridiculous. The name of the cigar is a Chubby. So,
Oh yeah, those Chubbies are the best.
yeah, sent down to my buddy's store to buy a Chubby. That's what got me into it. If you ever get a chance to smoke a Chubby, do it. Another pretty big cigar is going to take you down if you don't smoke. So there you go.
And speaking of our buddy's store, we are actually currently seeking sponsorship opportunities. So subscribe, and if you're interested in sponsoring our show, let us know. We're not going to name the name of this cigar shop downtown Coeur d'Alene because he hasn't sponsored our show yet.
I'd love to give the name of our cigar store that we use and go to all the time, but we're going to need a little commitment from you, partner. Yeah.
No free advertising.
No free advertising. None at all. I mean,
I mean, at this point, I anticipate our viewership is probably my mom, and
Your wife?
maybe my wife.
Maybe, probably not my wife, but maybe.
So we might
Anders is already in. He's already subscribed. I'm almost positive.
Yeah.
He's probably watching us live right now.
probably, if we were doing this live,
What
it
we're
would
not.
be. There's a reason we don't do this live.
Yeah.
So subscribe below. Bruce and I are new to this YouTube thing, the whole vlogcast thing. We made a go of it in 2019 on our trip to Pittsburgh.
We really thought we were going to gain some traction, and we didn't get any calls. I'm a little confused because I thought it was amazing. I went back and watched all the footage, and I don't know what's wrong with you people. It just didn't catch on. No, it's not what's wrong with you. It's what's wrong with us. I know.
We learned though. We took those lessons and we realized you want more of us.
You do want more of us, and we didn't give you enough.
So here we are.
Here we are.
So let's go back to 2019. So we took a trip to Pittsburgh, and we decided to, instead of fly down, which would have taken us probably 8 hours, we decided to road trip it. So hence why we are going down the road of rest areas.
Best decision ever, by the way.
Oh my gosh, that trip was amazing. We got to do another one of those.
Absolutely.
Like, I wish we could have done. So we just did a trip back to Green Bay a few weeks ago. Went to Lambeau Field to watch a football game. It was
Epic.
the most incredible experience. If you're a football fan, go to Lambeau. I don't care if you like Green Bay, go to Lambeau, because that is the football experience of a lifetime.
We got the snow globe experience. It was dumping down snow. It was cold outside. It was the
Yeah.
perfect Lambeau experience.
Yeah.
So we got there. It started out. It was beautiful, sunny. I mean, it was literally almost clear blue skies when we got into the stadium and sat down. Sun was shining, beautiful. Game starts. Of course, it's getting dark, so we didn't see the clouds coming in. Well, we kind of did. There were clouds all around, but then it started to snow a little bit, and then it started to frickin' dump. And I mean, it was snowing. It was amazing. It was an experience you have to experience if you're a football fan.
Rest stops. I mean, it seems like an obscure topic, but
It really does, and it really, I have to say, it probably really was until we got back east. We got back east, and where was that rest stop? Where was the Taj Mahal?
well, the Taj Mahal of rest stops was in Wisconsin.
That was in Wisconsin, yeah.
I mean, Wisconsin, I'll tell you what, they have the friendliest people, they have the best cheese, they have an amazing football team.
Which is ironic because we have a friend that knows a lot about Wisconsin. His wife was born and raised there and says that Wisconsin people suck.
Not true.
We were just back there, and we had nothing but an amazing experience. People were undeniably the nicest, friendliest, most helpful people I've ever experienced, maybe anywhere.
Well, you know why that is. It's because their rest stops are palaces.
It's gonna be the rest.
Palaces.
So we pull up to this rest stop, right? So, stupid fact that you don't need to know, but I'm going to tell you anyways. When you're taking a road trip together, you tend to, it's kind of like women. You start to cycle together a little bit, right? So you kind of pee together, and that's just how it works.
Well, let me clarify.
Well-
we weren't peeing
Well, not
together.
Yeah, let's clarify that. Not
mean,
together.
there was at least-
At the same time, we needed to use the restroom, and we would stop and we would
There was
use
at
the
least
restroom.
3 or 4 urinals between us. At least. There was no together about it.
Well,
Simultaneously, maybe, yes.
somehow our cycles got off, right?
Pee cycles. Let's be
Pee
clear about
cycles.
that,
Pee
too.
cycles. And we were stopping at almost every rest area. Brian would have to stop. I would have to stop. And we were kind of just ramping up. So, oh, that was an okay. That was an okay. And then we get to this rest area. I am not kidding you. Rant and rave about this until the day I die. You walk in, and I'm not kidding you. There's music playing. There had to be somebody on site cleaning constantly. It was the cleanest. And I'm not talking like just rest area quality bathroom. I'm talking like, what was there even marble countertops
Oh,
with the sinks?
I mean,
It was ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Like music playing. I was waiting, like when I was done washing my hands, I was waiting for a guy to hand me a towel. Honestly, it was that incredible. And then outside, the grounds were beautiful. It was
I think they were even piping in bird noise on the outside.
They were piping in bird noises outside.
I might have some footage of this. If I do, I'll play that.
I think one of us does. We'll have to
think
go
so.
back and look at that.
I'm definitely going back to look.
That's right. I forgot about the bird noises. We found the speakers. That's crazy.
We did find speakers.
So if you have a rest area that can compete with what we just described, post it in the comments below and we'll talk about it in next week's episode.
I don't think.
My wife and I drove. We were driving through Montana. We got in a snowstorm that was so bad. The visibility, the wind, and everything was so bad. Couldn't see the highway. We're on I-90. We're on main interstate. The highway disappeared. We were going 20 miles an hour tops, almost with the door open so we could see where the road was. Not even joking. It was horrendous.
I can just see you driving down the road with the door open, trying to see where you're
No, my wife was. Oh my gosh, that was horrible though. And I don't mind driving in the snow. Snow's I grew up in North Idaho. This is all good. Snow is that was horrible.
Speaking of snow in North Idaho, golf season has long since ended, unfortunately. But how was your season last year?
Yeah, golf season was probably average. I was supposed to take some lessons this year, didn't get in to do it. I have a good friend of mine that's been trying to get me all lessoned up by his teachings, and he's a good golfer, at least by his own account. He's better than we are, that's for sure. And I just can't. What? Yeah. I just can't seem to get this single plane swing down, but I'm working on it. So it was a good season. I love golf. Shooting, get a couple good scores a year. What I mean by good is mid 80s. Typically shooting the 90s, low 90s. It was good. It was a great season. We had, oh my gosh, what was the course? What was the first course we golfed in Vegas, or down when we went to Vegas?
Wolf Creek.
Oh my gosh.
That course was out of this world amazing.
I wish that it wasn't one of our first rounds of the year because you come off of it cold, you haven't swung much, and it's a hard course. It's a challenging course. And, ooh, look at this. This was actually from the trip to Pittsburgh.
That was from our trip to Pittsburgh.
Right there.
Montana Starbucks. I think we got that at the Billings Starbucks.
So here's a sucky fact that I'm going to tell everybody. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Yeah.
Brian's obviously a Seahawks fan. We
It's like
basically every football game that I've been to has been the Seahawks and the Steelers. And so far, I have not seen him beat the Seahawks yet. What the heck is that about?
I will say though, I was trying to get you to go to the Pittsburgh Seahawks game this year, and that game Pittsburgh won, so you would have seen that happen, but you couldn't do it. But even though Green Bay, Pittsburgh is your team, going to Green Bay and watching the Packers play, even though they shut the Seahawks out, which was very disappointing, still a wonderful experience, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
we already talked about that. But my golf this year was actually pretty good. I finally hit the 50s. I was about 55, 56 on average.
On the front line.
No, actually, I took lessons from a guy named Heath Byers here in town. He runs Sandbaggers Golf. And
you just dropped it out there.
Huge.
I thought we weren't doing any sponsor stuff.
That's okay. I'll give Heath a little bit of credit.
He's getting props today.
Tell Heath I sent you in, and then maybe he'll sponsor our show. Who knows?
There you go. That's a good play.
Anyway, awesome guy to take lessons from. I took lessons with my 7-year-old son. We took them together, and 10 strokes right away. It really helped with my drive distance and stuff like that.
It really did. It helped him out quite a bit.
Lower 90s pretty much all year.
The consistency is still. You're consistently in the lower 90s, but it still hasn't transpired on the time or on the time card, on the scorecard to lower scores. You did have a couple games where you're down in the low 80s.
85 is my best score of the year. Actually, best round ever was 85.
Yeah.
But I attribute a lot of the lack of success in the later half of the year to my accident.
Yeah, let's talk about that. We'll let you just go ahead. Let's talk about your accident. By the way, I normally ride with Brian every time we golf, we ride together. He drives, I ride. That's the way it works. We went up to golf at Galena, where we have a pass out every year, and brought
a friend of mine.
Oh yeah, brought a friend from work. So Bruce didn't ride with Brian that day. So go ahead there from there.
It was very fortuitous for Bruce that he wasn't in the cart this day. We're on the back 9.
I think it was hole number 14. And it's, if you don't know the course, check out Galena Ridge. I'll link to their YouTube channel here in this video. It has some pretty cool flyovers of the course. But the hole that we're on is beautiful. It's on this ridge on top of the hill, basically. It's more of like a small mountain, maybe. And it's wet morning, tires on the cart are pretty bald. And I'm coming down the side of this hill to get onto the golf cart path. Mind you, I do this every single week, sometimes multiple times a week, at least 2 times per round, because it's a 9-hole golf course, certain twice. And coming down just this time, cart goes squirrely on me. So I checked it and I did 2 or 3 360s.
Did you before you even went over?
Before I went over.
Oh,
then,
I didn't even know that.
There's a ridge on the left side of the cart path here, and it just drops essentially, it's probably a 40-degree angle down. I mean, it is steep.
Freaking straight up and down almost.
So we do a couple 360s. I'm facing backwards now, and I can just feel us sliding back, and the whole cart backwards down this ravine. Check out the pictures. But it was a very frightening experience. Fortunately, we hit a stump, which actually caused the cart to roll. I fell on top of my buddy, all 260 pounds of me, so I'm sure that was pleasant. Broke a golf club, but other than that, we were unscathed.
It was amazing. From our perspective, I'm riding with my buddies, and I just look over at the very moment when they're tipping over the side, and I don't know why this thought went through my head, but I'm like, where are they going? What the heck? So we get down there, and mind you, he said it was wet. We were on the cart path, which is asphalt. We couldn't stop. It was like ice. It was ridiculous. So I get there, and I'm peeking over the side, and all I could see is the bottom side of the cart, and they're not making any noise. I'm like, oh shit, they're really hurt. And then I think Brian rolled off of his buddy from work. Oh my gosh, it was a classic experience. So
it was shocking.
Here's a fun fact, just in ruining golf carts. On one golf course, the Luyangas, who is Brian, and his father are the only 2 people to ruin golf carts at that golf course.
I don't know if you know that for a fact.
Well, we know that father and son have definitely taken 2 of them out.
Well, what's terrible, the worst part about the entire thing is every year I give my dad a lot of crap about crashing the golf cart. I give my dad a lot of crap about crashing the golf cart. And it's just kind of been a running joke for years. Now, his accident wasn't nearly as bad. He accidentally pressed on the gas coming down the hill instead of the brake, crashed into another golf cart, which pushed into another golf cart.
Yeah.
Broke the axle.
I mean, in his defense, he was sitting on the passenger side.
True.
And his foot was just wet. It just slipped off, and that happens.
But it was fun to make fun of him for that. You have to have a healthy, healthy joking around, making fun of people type of relationship. Well, now I can't because I rolled off the side of the ravine,
which is a few steps above rear-ending somebody.
Just a few. Everyone was okay. We walked away from the incident, which is fine, and we'd love to tell the story.
Any costs on that yet?
No. I'm hoping that Galena Ridge and Kellogg, Idaho will pick up a sponsorship on this video, and maybe we can just call it even. All this free press you're getting from us to talk to you about this golf cart experience.
I agree. It would be amazing.
Bill, if you're watching this, consider it.
Yeah, Bill, how you doing, Bill?
Well, we've talked about golf. We've talked about cigars. We've talked about rest areas. Really, I think we've accomplished it.
Yeah, I think we've covered our bases.
We've got a really interesting vlog set up for you this season. We're gonna continue talking about just random musings, but we might get into some more serious issues like politics and COVID.
Light politics. I mean, we don't want to get, just keep it light.
I do wonder though, and we're going to keep this light, but what did we talk about before COVID? It feels like every time you're in a conversation with someone, COVID always comes up, and it's like, why?
Yeah, why? Did we ever talk about the flu before like
No.
this?
No.
Pneumonia?
No.
Not even cancer unless you knew somebody that had cancer.
And even then, it was just very
Yeah, but now it's all COVID.
So we might explore that a little bit.
I think we probably will.
Another
But
episode.
Obviously not in a controversial way. But yeah, I think we should explore that.
All right.
Our next episode.
Well, thanks for joining us. Hit the subscribe button. Share this video with your friends. Add comments. We'll look at the comments every single week. And if you have questions or anything you want us to talk about, post it down there, and we'll take a look.
Next week.
1 week. See you next week.
B squared.
B squared.